Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 with my continuing look at Hearts of Iron 4's Black Ice 10.4. Now, one of the things which I have not really encountered before, but we are now December 17th. If you wait till the next year to fire the first Wella infantry divisions, they will disappear. So if you want to fire them at all, you better fire them before the end of the year. So we're going to do full divisions. They're going to hit our industry negatively, strongly. Okay, so now you can see the penalties from those, and we've spawned a bunch of units. Are they all here? Yeah, they're all here in Berlin. Okay, yes, we're gonna have to play through some of this again. Sure, plunk. $38. Kesselschlock. Okay, now you can see where our industry is being hit really hard. Oh boy. Oh boy, we're being hit hard. Hard. By stacking that up. No, we're not getting. Oh, we give them fuel. Okay, yeah, I think so. Boom time for bars in Berlin. Yeah, lots of soldiers there. That's for certain. Okay, so, well, we don't need these right now. We're going to keep the oil rig building just because we will want the oil rig. Focus more on getting some of these industries done. The ones we can get done first, we want to do first. Earliest. Yeah. Well, it will mean we're building up a lot of materials. I don't like that they can only fire in 36. But you should have that as fair warning, people. Fair warning indeed. Yeah, you can do that if you want to look them up, and I could fire the events. You're absolutely right from the console. Yeah, you can do that. It's not a bad solution, but again, as a mod maker myself, I want to. Oh, no. I don't want that that much. Oh, let's go just a little bit positive. There we go. Auto saving. All right. Let's come here. Okay. We're going to do bank for international settlement. 200 supplies. Annual espionage focused economic spying. And yep, long-term investment, which is going to hit our ICs for another 5%. And we're going to go annual national focus, industry, Reich economics. Okay. Oh, this and now Cottbus and Hanover again. So here we will max this out. Move that to the top. Move all of these above it because we want them. We want the first ones there first. Ones will get completed first. We want to give them priority, I should say. Better use of the English language there. Right. Okay, good. Let's go. We did look just before Railroad Tycoon as being the best option here. Now let's look here. Okay. You still build the battleships. We can still build the aircraft. We're going to wait until those 3 spawn penalties there for 40 IC unit spawn penalties. Those 3 of those go away. You get nervous. Yeah, you might screw something up if you auto fire stuff. It varies. Seven. Oh, we need more production here now. I want that to go down. Okay, you can have fuel. We're not using much fuel. Okay, another 3% hit until September 37. Until September 37. Really? No, thank you. 3%. Okay, let's read this here, people. Thanks for following the channel. Do appreciate it very much. Okay, 2 aged 280 millimeter or 28 centimeter Kutztown Cannon L42 guns seized from the Belgians at the outbreak of World War I had survived the war and were placed in new mounts that were shared by all of the 28 centimeter Bruno railway guns. Okay, so they had two big artillery tubes, basically, and they had to make the railway gun or the railway mounts and other auxiliary pieces for them, I presume. Okay, not just what you're sort of seeing here in the picture, but some other things. But the guns themselves, they're probably, I don't know, because again, if you don't understand, 42 caliber coastal guns. Okay, a caliber, when you're talking about a big gun like this, unlike a something that's like a 50 caliber or 30 caliber machine gun, when you're talking about this, this is 42 times, I believe, the diameter of the gun. So it would be 42 times 28 centimeters, because it's a proportional measurement when you're talking about naval artillery and their calibers. And since we're talking this is a coastal gun, I'm going with that. So it's 42 times 28 centimeter barrel. Okay, so it might not be a very good modern naval gun because it's pre-World War II, pre-World War I gun, but still would make a nice big boom for railway artillery for siege. Okay, they really think putting these two things are going to cost Germany 3.3% of their ICs for 2/3 of a year? Really? Yeah, something like that. That's how I understand to measure U.S. naval guns, because they'll do like a 6-inch 42 caliber. And so it's 6 inches or 4-inch 42 caliber. So you could see, the idea, a 4-inch 42 caliber versus a 6-inch 42 caliber. The 4-inch 42 caliber will have a shorter barrel, but it'll be a proportional length equal to its, diameter of, projectile. So that's how you measure naval artillery. And I'm guessing because, again, it's coastal cannon and that type of thing. And so it's a percentage situation. And you'll see that kind of stuff when you're looking at naval artillery. So, yeah, and I get this also, includes, all the personnel and what to maintain it. But no, I'm not going to do that right now. That seems like 3.3% of Germany's IC for 30 days? Maybe. Because you already have the Jean Barthes line. You already have the artillery tube, which is the hardest bit to make. But even then, even if you're making the artillery tube, and even if you're sort of going, but we're also making a bunch of ammo to go with them, assault gliders are done. It's a one and done, I know. Or something like that. Well, yeah, making a bunch of ammo does cost a bit, but still. Okay, well, we're now in 37, so we're going to start pushing forward on this. Yeah, I guess. Steel after that. Assault glider's done. Losing some money from Italy. And so even if you were making the artillery tubes and everything else, okay, 60 days? Or 1% maybe for until September. That just seems like awfully expensive. Okay, they come with a battalion, but yeah, still a battalion and its support elements is significant, but not, that big a percentage. Regional event surpasses ICs for 3 years, right? Yeah, well, there's the original suppresses. Yeah, there is the original railway event too here. Let's hover over this. Do we see here? Well, we have the 38 centimeter. Well, maybe they've changed this here, because I just see the 38 centimeter spawn penalty of 6% still going from whenever we spawn that thing. Yeah, that seems awfully big. Well, okay, this isn't the big, huge super guns. This would need just a standard railway. Nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I think they overdo the effectiveness of forts. I've normally reduced down their effectiveness. Okay, torpedo boat class advance. And that's grayed out. And steel armor casting capabilities. We'll do that a bit later. We're going to focus earlier on some of these other. Yeah, let's do that. And we have, let's do industry. Yeah, I'm not buying it. No thanks. TRE used to be just a, stuff added, but now because they're going down too many tracks that I don't like, it's becoming a gamers remix as well. I don't like that it is, but since it is, it is. I understand why they're no longer putting divisions in the production queue. That with what they've decided to do with, I guess we're just going to keep up here. Yeah, we're going to do coal. I want to get that spawn too. Because what they've decided to do mostly with it's mostly these specialist training stuff. Whether that's a good idea or not, they make spawning the divisions in the production queue problematic. So, yeah, I get why they sort of need to now, but I still just make it cost a super amount of, supplies or whatever they figured needed to happen. I'm not asking for stuff for free. Now, I am sort of a bit, maybe with, got leftover artillery pieces from before that were, putting together. It might be not free, but cheap. Okay, do we want to do the Theodora cannons at 24 instead of 28? Oh, good. No, thank you. It's just this, because this is going to be there. I think it's 3 months for each of these spawn penalty things, and I don't need what would be now another 6% reduction. I mean, eventually we get to where we're not producing anything. No big boom. Yeah. No, we want to fire new projects. We want to fire new projects. You want to fire that as quickly as you can. Sets a timer or a flag. Forget which. Timer or flag or both. No, we're stockpiling our crude. Okay, well, Good. So I've made earlier on. I made an announcement video which will go out. I am looking for someone to help me update TRE for the new mod. So I don't know if any of you have interest in wanting to help. If you do, contact me on the Discord server. Okay, naval strike tactics and nav tactics. Those are both over here. Yeah, we'll come back to these. I know these are 37 technologies and all, but we are doing what we can to improve our industrial and supply production and capacity, agriculture, manpower. Well, if we improve the supply of productions, that will reduce our needs for ICs producing supplies. Yeah, I can imagine they would break a lot of windows. Here on the West Coast, they had, well, and on the East Coast, but the U.S. had a fairly large coastal artillery program that only disappeared after World War II, again, primarily because of nuclear weapons. And a lot of those guns were never fired, or extremely rarely fired. They would go to more remote areas and fire a few guns there, for training purposes, for accuracy and whatnot, and normally just do loading drills on dummy cartridges and dummy powder things, dummy projectiles and dummy, because the projectile and the powder charge were normally in bags. They're separated. So they trained a lot, but they fired very little because you don't want to fire around LA or San Francisco area and shatter windows and things like that. So where there were some coastal mounts that were a few more miles away that would be outside of the shattering kind of effect, and train actually do the live firing on those. Armor plate, okay. 4-inch airframe and large fuel tank. Okay, that here. Okay, so we're just going to do level 1 of these just to sort of do those so that we have them. Okay, more supplies being produced. I think we want to continue giant infrastructure projects, which will increase our ICs. So that this will happen sooner because it is only 8 instead of 12. So let's get that going. Yes, you may have metal. We're no longer using metal because we're no longer running our ICs anymore. Which is an interesting side effect by having negative penalties for the cost of these things, because you're not using up your resources as much. So you're getting the units that we're getting, yes, with an IC cost, but without a resource cost, including the big artillery pieces, unless they also had a metal cost for those. Okay, I don't remember. Transport ship engines, which we're going to stop now. We don't need to push there early. Okay, supply transportation, supply transfer costs. Okay, repair rate. We don't need those right now. Yes, we'll do the giant infrastructure and small warship engine advance. I want to make sure that that is either. Yeah, grayed out. Good. Okay. That'll reduce ICs. That'll help Yeah, we'll do this. Okay, what technology just happened? Oh, camouflage designs. Yeah, let's stop that. Well, I think it's definitely better that we produced more ICs earlier on and fire these all at once than to have these fire early and what about yeah, beam slam. I don't, there's definitely attempts at body armor in World War I. Um, and there's a lot of photographs of it, but I don't. I'll say this: I rarely see in the field photographs of anybody wearing body armor in World War I. I think it did happen, but I think it's rare. Where you see a lot of, a lot of other okay, we're low popularity. How nice. We like being that. Okay, some ships are launched. We're down to now 97 ICs, and we're needing more production here. This is not how you run an economy, people. Let's. No, this is not how you run an economy. But so I think all the photos exist are just testing out various body armors. They did wear some, but I don't think it was like it was a marginal. It's like less. I'm guessing here, but it's probably less than 1% of soldiers had something more than a helmet. Expand our industry. Great news. Yeah, good. Heavy industry in Dortmund. Hold it. Let's take a quick look there, which will help. Is this Dortmund? Yeah. Okay, well, that will help. Another heavy industry, which will magnify things. And so, yeah, when you have less than 1% of soldiers equipping with something, that is a rare thing indeed. Yeah, well, that's sort of the new thing. Okay, we've gone up because of the heavy industry. We've gone up to 98. Okay, small warship. Armament advance. No, here. Okay, so we've got armament. So yeah, we'll do the destroyer. Get the destroyer classes going up. That's because of 2 or 3 25%. So we're down 75% of our ICs because of that. No, another cannon thing for another 3% for until October. No need, no thank you. We're not buying this. See now, well, just here. See, I'm guessing these are. Well, I don't know what the C88 means necessarily, but if the L35 is 35 calibers, that would be 35 calibers of out of 24 centimeters. So these are all varying. Originally used in the ocean coastal. They're equipped better. Yeah, I don't know why these are costing so much for guns that are already in existence that they had laying around, literally. Now the U.S. does the same basic thing but for coastal defense. They had the Endicott system around from the late 19th century, which still had some effectiveness for coastal batteries. And those were mostly the disappearing guns, meaning the gun would be entirely below the concrete parapets around it and with no top cover because they didn't have airplanes at the time. So it was very hard to do plunging fire coming straight down on the top. So mostly it would either go short or go long. And so the gun would be below the level of the parapet, so you can't even see, because they sort of camouflage, can't even see precisely where the guns are. You would load the guns would, when you would pre-aim them. You would see where the ship was. You would aim the gun, get it there all aimed up, all set up, but the gun still can't be seen. And then when you go to fire it, you then do the mechanism that then actually moves the gun into the proper place for where you're aiming it. And so, it comes up on pivot joints, if you will, and comes up briefly in there, and so you're already pre-aimed, and then you fire, and the recoil of the gun makes it go back in and go back below the parapet of the edge of the wall. That's big and thick and behind a lot of earth. So just come up briefly, fire almost immediately, and then that recoil would be bringing it back below the wall while you get all the big smoke coming out of the gun. So yeah, they'd see, oh yeah, over there's guns over there. We see the big huge smoke cloud, but they don't get a precise location, a precise range, and it's meant to have a thick enough walls that if you're going low, you're just going to hit this big earthen mound that then has a lot of concrete behind it, or you're just going to be going over it and going behind it and exploding behind it. So very hard to hit. So unless you get, high arcing plunging fire to come right in on it, or of course, in a modern sense, oh, hey, there's some dive bombers, they'll just see them and dive right on them. So they have no top cover. But again, these are 19th century guns. They had those all along the coastal system. Well, I think it was the first London Naval Treaty or whatever stops U.S. building of a bunch of heavy guns. I think like 8-inch guns. Ships with 8-inch guns. So they had already built a bunch of the guns, and they had sat around in the Navy's arsenal. Well, during the 1930s, before 1936, but continuing up until and after the U.S. goes into war, the Navy is transferring over as the Army is getting ready to emplace these guns as coastal, because it's the Army is running the coastal artillery. It's a sub-branch of the artillery, but a major one in the United States Army. And they placed some of the guns out in the Philippines, some of the guns at Panama Canal, but most of them along the east and the west coast of the United States. So they were building these more with top cover, not disappearing guns, in bunker style things, not in a naval gun turret, but in a bunker style setup with a decent fire arcs. And so they were doing all of these guns using, I think, mostly 8-inchers. That were not put into ships, and by the time they're getting ready in the 40s, building more ships, they're already building. They have better gun technology to build better artillery tubes. They're going to have longer range for the size of the gun. So yeah, it's sort of like, yeah, okay, we're not going to use these guys. Army, do you want to use them for your coastal defense guns? And the Army says yes, please, and they turn them over as they're placing instead of turning them over all at once. So the U.S. is doing that, and so with TRE, I at the start I give the U.S. its historical coastal defense guns because everybody forgets them because they weren't used in the war. Even when the Japanese ships are coming in, or was it ships or submarines? I forget which it was. I think it was submarines. Were coming in. I think in Washington here, up in Seattle or one of these places was coming in. The battery commanders told the regional commander, do not fire. Whatever you do, even if they start shelling you, do not fire, do not fire. Because either it was a small group of like light cruisers, I think, or was it submarines, or one of the two. I think it was light cruisers were coming in. Do not fire, because they did not want to let the Japanese know like the ranges of the guns, their effective firing. They'd rather, because these were just a few, either I'm pretty sure they were light cruisers or destroyers. Up here, and it was just a small raid, and it was like, hey, yeah, they're only going to shell us a little bit, ain't going to really hurt. These guns are meant to stop a big naval armada coming in. There's really, and then we really want to surprise the hell out of them and not kick the shit out of them. So they order them not to fire even when they could have fired in anger, just for tactical reasons. And so, yeah, people forget about how well, and they also did a whole series of stuff along the East Coast and the Gulf Coast here. So I added those all in for TRE. So if whether it's Japan or Germany is invading, well, you got coastal defense guns if they man them. So what is Eric saying here? It was fine on the entire time for me. Okay, I don't know. No voice. Okay, can we? Unless did you stop? Okay, Mystic. Yeah, wise order. Okay, so I hope you can hear me again. Beam slam. Okay, artillery barrel and ammunition advance. Okay, that would be over here, I believe. And again, we're moving this to our industry expansion program. Deal with, oh shit, we don't have any ICs. Things that would help that out, maybe. Okay, mass events is the opposite, so we're going to wait a little bit on mass events. Agriculture, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, very good. Sorry that you had a little problem there. Okay, and what inefficient research, small caliber tank. Guns, those are over here. Yes, okay. Which will unlock medium velocity guns. 37. Yeah, coastal artillery has its uses, and this is ridiculous, but whatever. It's just for the USA, it got to the point with nuclear weapons no longer being necessary. What they did for quite a while was mount Nike long-range anti-air missiles to try to shoot down incoming, bombers with that presumably carrying nuclear bombs from the Soviet Union along our various coastal regions, and of course sticking them up in Canada to try to get those flying over the North Pole. Range finding. Okay, that's here, there. Well, I think we're getting most of the stuff we want to do here now. Right, okay, well, medium armor designs will do that. Yeah. I don't know when we're going to start seeing nuclear weapons used again. I really have to wonder the nations that have them, would they be willing to lose a war and not use them? Because I know in a practical sense, unless you're nuking America, at least still you can't successfully invade it. We still have too many guns for them to invade it. Oh, I didn't hear that. My sound is a little low, I guess. Okay, artillery firing carriage designs. Without the pop-up. Now, of course, the Democrats want to disarm the populace, which, of course, makes America invadable, which means we may have to use nuclear weapons to defend ourselves. But so long as we have our weapons, and you can tell me, oh, what about, people? Well, they have, cruise, or they have, surface-to-air missiles, or no, they have air-to-surface missiles and all these other things. Yeah, tell that to the Taliban. Tell that to various forces that are still fighting off the Americans and fought off the Soviets. So yeah, America is uninvadable from a foreign invasion perspective, quite honestly. So it's only nuclear weapons that are a current threat to defeat, conquering America. I don't care how many tanks you bring in. You need to put infantry on the street corners, and they'll die to too many guns. I live down the road from Swedish Military Signals Directorate. Their array is the first thing. Yep, that'll be targeted first. Yeah, chemicals, that's another issue, absolutely. I don't think any of the majors are going, I don't think any of the majors are going to use biological weapons. Chemicals, yes. Mountain infantry activation. That is here and done. Right, good. Okay, well, because we lost other things, we still have more projects, so we're going to wind down on some of the research. Now, supposedly here, these 40 IC spawn penalties are the same approximately same price to build these units as it would be through normal IC production. And that's a lot of divisions. We do have these big Schwer cannons here. Okay, coastal submarine class advanced. So it's more of just an annoyance that it's all happening at once now, and road network advanced. I think that one we may want to. Yeah, we're stopping that because what we're going to see here is another 2.5% ICs until June. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, own a gas mask. No. Vigalex and Doze. Hello, Dozed. How you doing? So there's no point in upgrading to, well, oh, I didn't want to do that. Turn that off. Well, I'm already facing a huge penalty here from everything, and since I don't think the pre-war roads thing scales to the percent loss, it's better to take the percent loss when it's smaller number of ICs than larger, unless of course that scales now to like you do scaling the unit spawn situation. So yeah, You know, we're down to 34 ICs or 35 ICs and producing stuff right now, so it's pretty bad. The one thing I noticed with yes, these units here cost ICs, but these units here don't cost resources. So actually, in a way, you're giving these units a bit cheaper. Oh, and your spawning artillery is way too expensive now, or it's always been. But your big guns, 3.5 or 3.3% of ICs from starting of the year till September. Really, for guns that were already half built? Yeah, that's a bit expensive. A bit too expensive. Either go down for like a month or two and keep it the same percent, or go to like 1% of ICs. It's just ridiculous. What I'm talking too much. Okay, short-barreled HE guns. Let's see if I can get there. Okay. Yes, we want to stop that. And okay, we're now again into the. So your railway artillery needs to be readjusted for cost, especially in reading the descriptions, and most of them are for, you know, leftover cannons from World War I or other repurposed ships cannons, and you're just having to build the railway carriages and supporting elements, which is a significant build element, but still it isn't that. Yeah, I think oh my God is upset with me again, so at least he didn't respond to my change my mind over, because I did say, you know, just so you know, Dozed, I presume you know that I made the video demanding either, and it was demanding that either have go back to 8 brigades, or keep it at 7 but remove the transport brigades from the game. Demanding that, or there was one element in the video that said, or change my mind. I mean, you know, you give me enough facts and change my mind. And the demand is that if you guys, Black Ice doesn't change back to 8 brigades, TRE will change it. And so the threat is I'll do it, but I'll probably do it badly because I don't know what I'm doing as well as you guys do. So, and no response. Okay, you didn't like the threat. Okay, or oh my God, didn't. So he's, I think, a little upset. So yeah. Oh, and the poll that I created, which gave the option go to 8 or stay at 7 but remove the transport brigades, or keep it the way it is, it's running almost 70+% and going back to 8 brigades. So I think popular demand is 8 brigades. And I know, yeah, make it so that the AI, I would just get rid of this entirely and just make it at start 8 brigades for everybody, everything. That's what I would do. What do I want to do? Okay, so we've got most of this stuff. Researching that I want to do now. Let's come down here. We'll do mountain HQs. My gamers, is something normal that sometimes done research doesn't pop up? Yeah, okay, what's happening when you don't see the research thing pop up? You will sometimes notice up here, but you can see it down here. What it is the number of units that it affects. If it were tried to display the pop-up, would be too large for the screen, you know, because there's just so many different unit types in Black Ice. So yeah, it won't actually pop up sometimes. So it's not just you, it's just a game engine limitation. It's just too big. That's all you're seeing there. Austria would like energy. Yes, you may. Yeah, okay. Tweaking balance. Yeah, but it just no response to my quote unquote threat of doing it myself. I mean, that's the only real threat there is, which is I'll do it if you don't. Okay, yeah. Well, down to 34. Okay, yeah. No problem. Vigalix. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Yeah, some of the stuff is just engine limitations. Aero engine research advanced air cooling. Grayed out. Do we want to do air cooling engine systems? Air cooling. Okay, 1942. No, we don't want to do that now. Yeah, we could do depth charges now. Get those researching. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm just. He explained himself, but. Okay. Stormtrooper tactics and infiltration tactics. Oh no, I'm not blaming you or anything. Don't take what I'm saying here as an attack. Not even an attack on him, it's just disagreements. Okay, stormtrooper tactics we want to continue. Infiltration tactics we want to continue. So yes, yes. Okay, energy. Yes, you may have energy. Okay, reorganize the war ministry. Get new hospitals. Okay. Expand our factories. Oh, good. We get a capital shipyard in Königsberg. Very nice. Do you know if if this I mean if you don't know it's fine. I just wondered if you know. Do the science ministers actually affect put on buildings, or is that just the effects that we see here? Not that I'm asking for a detailed right now, any because I could look it up or something, but I just wondered if they do buildings or is it just the effects? Do you know? Again, no problem if you don't know. Okay, give events to boost text. Okay, just wondered. Okay, anti-aircraft ammunition. Stop that. And submarine classes advanced. Okay, so we can research more, but we're not going to do that now. Let's see if we can find some more 37 technologies that we want to do now. Yeah, like close air support. And we're not doing carrier aircraft. You know, we can do fuselage. Yeah, well, people min-max things. People use things inappropriately. That's very true. Single engine airframe. Grayed out. The big thing, as I understand it, is the AI won't. If you have a division, the AI will never, on its own, add a new brigade to it. So, and I don't think you can tell the AI to go also to have models for building 7 brigade divisions to then later, once you research certain techs, to build 8 brigade divisions. So you do get a bonus if they don't. I just see, I have things like combat leaders that my understanding is they're supposed to be attached to select units, And so, yeah, okay, if I put in this combat commander here, what unit am I going to take out to put him in? Reconnaissance? Anti-tank? Are we really now supposed to rely upon, jerking two of these things out of here and going over to, a mixed support unit in almost everything? And so you get things like that, or building specialty, even temporary building, which yes, obviously for like assaulting a fortified position, you can remove the transport element and put on a railway gun unit or something there. But then if you wanted to, add, your elite light infantry to a regular unit, what are you going to pull out of it? It's supposed to be an additive. Yeah, the system is open for abuse. I normally, and so I just, 8 brigades, just have, the EULA programming that does it. And I don't know how easy, if it can be done to go, hey, yeah, Soviet Union, France, Britain, or whatever nation, big nations build 8 brigades. Small nations build 7, brigade divisions, because you have fewer divisions holding a, you need more divisions just because you have such a stupid big front and you can't, hold strategic points. And things like that. So yeah, I understand there's reasons for this. I get, and I get Oh My God's idea that there are reasons for it. They're just not good enough reasons. Is all. I mean, they're reasons, but not good enough. Would be convenient if this was written in the minister's text. If they min-max stuff, they're just making their own experience of the game. Absolutely, Jackal. Battle commanders replace HQs. Okay. Because yeah, they can. Yeah, you're right. Because they do give the combined arms effects. You're right about that. But you no longer have the cool HQ symbol for whatever division they're with, and that's part of the reason why we like these cool HQs. So yeah, okay, single engine airframe research. Grayed out. Okay. 4-engine transport plane. We want that. Don't know how we're going to afford that now, but we want them. Unit when it's okay to build industry continuously. Oh, until when it's okay to build industry continuously. 1994. Don't quite get some of that. Oh, I know what you mean. Okay. We did look. They've upped the numbers that you can build industry to the different years, but after 1940, you can max out your industry as far as you want without negative events. So we looked at it earlier. It's now, I think, 450 in 1936 or something that was really high now. Twin engine armament research advance. And again, that is here. Let's stop that. Twin engine fighter prototype. Let's research that. So yeah, after 1940, you can just go crazy. Build, build, build. Yeah, well, that's I've noticed that now. It's changed. Okay. Armament again. Let's see. Yes, grayed out there. So I would say for Germany, you no longer have to worry about um, in a practical sense. I'm sure somebody can min max something, but in a practical sense, you're no longer going to be, especially with events like this, you're no longer going to be worrying about building too much industry, I would say. Won't have enough resources industry output if you go too far. Yes. Though I would, you know, yeah, the state would like, no, we're building up crude oil. Sorry. Um, they support 250 ICs of imports. Very good to know. You're still, oh yeah. And so, you have a resource limitation, and that I think is reasonably appropriate. Because I understood what they said by certain, if you go on super hard difficulty, they have lots of extra resources that you can try to suck out of them. The exploitable one, I have played on hard. I've not played on the hardest level though, and I don't try to game the system. I try to make it reasonably appropriate when I play, and that's how I guess make my mods for somebody who's doing it. Okay, four engine armament research advance. We want to come over here and stop that. We just wanted to do one level of it. And road network advance. Okay. Or railroad network, I should say. Yes. Okay, good. And yeah, I'm going to fire this now here. Another one, but only until July. Yeah, now this is more reasonable because that's a major investment compared to some things. Hmm, 37. Avionics, okay, 38. We can do 38. Oh, no, well, we can do 35. Let's do that one first. Oh, and we still have a little bit more. Let's come down here, look at these guys. Yeah, we'll do fire control. Okay, and so we can see IC production increased by just 0.2%, but still it helps. Throughput supply later on will help a lot. Oh, we gotta do this again. Okay, up a tiny bit more. I really wish I could just set these at need. Oh, now let's. Yeah, I don't know what all those battleships and aircraft are going to do. Why don't you use? Because it doesn't. To me, it doesn't satisfy. I know what you're talking about here, but it doesn't satisfy me. I want to be able to say you go exactly at whatever levels it's close, but just doesn't work well enough. Great War analysis. Have we analyzed the Great War enough? No, we need to watch more episodes of the Great War. How did they know about YouTube back then? I have to wonder about that. Motorized HQs. We're stopping that one for now. Okay. We were looking here. 1937. Yeah, we'll do that. Doze, do you know what you guys use to do your multiplayer games? Do you use Hamachi Go or something like that, or however it's called, or how do you get the multiplayer thing to work? I've had trouble with doing some of that. If you know, I'm not sure if you know, but airport capabilities advance. Stop that one. Oh, you don't with the rest, but I believe they use direct. Okay. I just eventually here want to do um, some multiplayer series, and I want to test it on some of my guinea pig players that I have that, see if we can get it working and whatnot. Okay, I know we got a lot of these things to start doing soon, but we're looking through some of this stuff first. We're not doing much in the way of Navy. Yeah, we're Germany. We're being smart and skipping most of the Navy. And political indoctrination is 39. Yeah, that's yeah. I think it's time to start. Let's do some of that. Yeah, they might be. I don't know. Oh yes, we need to hit these things. I did get it working. I mean, well more than a year ago, briefly with somebody. But I just want to know. Oh, airport 5% until July. Oh, lovely. Yeah, these are way too expensive. Airport level 5% till July. Yeah, air organization improves, but this is really racking up the consumer goods. Okay, we're down to 22 ICs functionally. So I just need to figure out a good, reasonably stable way to play this multiplayer. Oh, medium fuel tank. I don't. And it's grayed out. Oh yes, Germany role. Yeah, we are sort of role playing the 1920s and early 30s. Yeah, I quite honestly, I'm not complaining about the penalties for the units, those 340 ICs. Right now, trust me, I'm not. I'm more I don't know that the conscription should be as bad. The penalty for the railway guns are just way effing too high. 6% of national ICs going to spawn penalty for the 38 centimeter guns. Yeah, no. That's just not realistic. The business boost because we went to long-term economics. That okay, yeah. Instead of short-term economic boost, I get you. I get that. Building manufacturing plants, maybe 5 IC short spawn penalty. Yeah, okay. I don't. Yeah, for a little while. That's depending on exactly which event that was. But the railroads, I sort of buy the 2.5%. Roads, maybe. Airports, no. No, 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 no. Extended conscription, but didn't we already have? See here. Oh, can't move it off. We have both extended conscription 4.0 and 3-year draft extended conscription 4.5. Okay, so 3-year draft military service. Fine. But we also have maybe I shouldn't have both of these going, but why the double up on these? I don't know if you have any input here, Dozed. And again, if you don't know, you don't know, and it's fine. I just don't know what the benefit of having both of these are. Hello, Savelli Gallus. Yes, this is I would still call it brand new, the 10.41 right now. They've did a hot fix / updated the big thing. So we got military service length. Okay, yeah, I get that. And we get, I don't know why separating these into two is, instead of having them sort of combined, is useful. I mean, yeah, I get that there are different combinations and triggered modifiers. I get that, but and I can see the different impacts here. Yeah, I can see this, but manpower, 15%. Manpower, 60%. 4 IC. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just don't see that this level of nuance. I mean, yeah, I could go to 2-year draft. I could go to 6 months draft. Okay, so peacetime manpower rotation plus 15%. Don't get what this necessarily is, quite honestly. Officer recruitment down, reserve penalty impact. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe I should be here now. And keep it here for the 60 manpower, national manpower modifier to build this up. I don't know. Well, that'll help a little bit. we'll let a day tick over and see how this. Oh, we're back up to 109. Yay. Okay. So we've lost. Okay, so we've lost the extended conscription. Wait a minute. Okay. We've lost the specialized army training. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Okay, so we're not, well, we don't need reinforcement bonus now. We don't need supply consumption negative. Well, no, we don't have that big an army. That's not that big. National unity, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Seems complicated. I'm not saying it's bad, just seems complicated and I don't understand it all. And, you know, and I get what I'm reading, but small fuel tanks. Okay, so yeah. Let's come down here and here we got reconnaissance. Let's do artillery training. There we go. Oh, we have 13 extra ICs. Yay. We don't need these anymore. Okay, good. Go to 0. Let's come down here to about there, maybe. We're up to 60 ICs. Yay. Okay, well now let's move these guys to the top because they'll complete first. And yeah, let's move these guys. Oh no, click the right place. And then yeah, move these guys back up to the top. Yeah, well, okay. Here's a mix. Is mixed industry worth it? Well, right now, yes, because I have no consumer good costs. So the additional cost for mixed industry is outweighed by some of the other effects here. Now, going from full mobilization when I did it, this was at the start of the game, so your results may vary at different times. When I went to war economy during peacetime, the amount of additional ICs, let's say it got 20 additional ICs, just for sake of argument, 20 additional ICs, but it required like 25 ICs to be put into consumer goods. So it wasn't worth going to war economy in peacetime. Now in wartime, it's an absolute yes, but it is not worth it, at least at the start of the game and the values that I had there. So war economy, no. Full mobilization, yes, and mixed industry because, and right now maybe even if I could, maybe heavy industry, but we can't do that. We need unity at least 80%. Okay. Oh, ruling party, all of the below. Okay. We're not at war, so we can't do heavy industry emphasis until we're at war or we're communist. So yeah, no, we can't do that now. So yeah, so mixed industry is definitely, so long as you have to look at what really the big thing is for those is to look at your consumer goods if to see if they're necessary or see if they're beneficial over the zero sum numbers. It used to be war economy was worth it in 10.3 and before. Now it isn't. Okay, no longer receive money for supplies. Would like money in exchange for fuel? No, thank you. Money in exchange for fuel? For no, thank you. Okay, I think we're going to end this episode here. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you all in chat for contributing. It really helped out. So I want to, thank you everyone, and see you next time for even more, yes, more Hearts of Iron.